What's up,
What's
Rocket?
up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Two Dudes, Two Dolls. Today we're going to be talking about Luke spent some time in the studio.
My first
With
session.
Luke did his first real session with some other people,
Evan was there
clients.
too,
Yeah,
guys.
and I think this is the appropriate time to say it because, you know, now you're an engineer, so you should know better. Mute your fucking phone, buddy. I just heard that shit go off.
You know what's funny? I didn't even fucking hear it.
Terrible.
I didn't even. I don't. You know what the issue is? Is I have my notification. People are literally going to fucking kill me. I have my notifications turned on when I'm at work with my earphones on.
I mean, yeah.
Like
Like,
you're
I hear-
saying, like your phone goes
I'm
off
listening
in
to
your
I'm
earphones,
listening,
and
I'm listening to like a podcast, some music, and I keep my notification sounds on. So then,
What's weird about that?
I will just say, frankly, I don't hate you for doing it.
Mhm.
I hate that. Like when I'm listening to music
That's why.
and I hear a ding, oh my God, I get hot, bro. I get hot.
Well, my thing is that I don't care about my job. So I don't mind checking my phone. That's really bad to say. That's the mentality.
That's what the vibrates for, bro. You just feel that little buzz.
Yeah. I don't feel it though. My pants, I don't know why, dude. I never like literally, Kevin. Well, you were. Oh no, that you weren't here. Never mind. I was by myself.
Anti-vibration pants.
Yeah, no, I'm having some fucking fucked up thoughts.
I just want to say real quick. I'm gonna let you talk for a second,
Yeah.
but something that drives me absolutely crazy. This isn't quite like the phone thing, although I do hate like there's nothing like when it gets to the best part of the song and it dings. Like, oh my God.
The GPS
drives
gives you
drives me
directions.
crazy. But there's one thing I talk about this all the time at work, so I feel like I just gotta throw this out there on the podcast. Kevin, Luke, maybe you might know it. Kevin, do you know the song "The Loadout" by Jackson Brown?
I do not.
Okay. So there's a song called "The Loadout" by Jackson Brown, and it goes into this tune, "Stay." It's like this with anything, like songs that go into each other. I'm trying to think of a better example, but all the time we're listening to like Pandora or something, Mark's playing it in the shop, and they'll play "The Loadout" and it doesn't go in. It's fucking criminal.
My question
Criminal.
is why my big question is why do people who work in warehouses, right? Who make I've worked in a warehouse, you work in a warehouse situation, right, Jerry? Kevin works in a warehouse. We make okay money, right? We have money.
Mhm.
Spotify's $10.
I
Apple
pay
Mu-
for my shit.
Apple
I don't
Music.
play the music.
I know, but hear me out. Apple Music's for $10. Why is every fucking dude 28 and up still using Pandora?
Bro, I have a friend who she talks about how much she loves music all the time, and then you get in her car and she has Pandora. It's like, how much do you really love music?
Yeah,
if you
you're
have Pandora?
you're listening to the greatest hits from 2000 and fucking like 14 still probably.
It's like, fuck your favorite band. What's your favorite app?
What is the point of Pandora? Like to have radio, to literally have fucking radio in 20, like I literally hate the radio. That's why I purchased Apple Music and I like music. Like I think if you like music, you would put money to give money to the fucking. It doesn't make sense. Fuck Pandora. Let's. I'm starting a petition today to end Pandora.
Yeah.
We didn't like radio. We didn't like Sirius FM. We didn't like any single fucking radio station. We hated it. Every person talks about how much they hate it.
Sirius XM is totally different though.
Yeah, they're pretty.
No, I think Sirius is like Sirius can be sick. It's not like
it's like
not
TV.
the best.
It's like 9,000 channels, but sometimes you land on the right one.
It's not really worth paying for, in my opinion. I just don't.
Yeah,
and they rob you. And they rob you. It's a lot of money.
Those first 3 months of a new car, yeah, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, that's facts. Yacht Rock Radio.
I would not know about
that's
that.
Like, dude, I found so many bangers on Yacht Rock Radio.
I like Liquid
Do you still
Pulse.
pay for it, or you only got it for 3 months, right?
I had it. I first started listening to it 'cause I don't know why I was driving my stepdad's car for like I was driving his car for like a couple weeks, like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. I must have had the Taurus.
Oh wait, Yacht
Um,
Rock to you is new.
Well, the concept of yacht rock is not new,
No,
but I'm
no,
But listening to
but
it,
like listening to like you're like, oh, I found Steely Dan, like this is the band, like you know what I mean, like that type of mentality.
I've been listening to Steely Dan for a hot minute.
I wouldn't even consider them. I know they're yacht
Yeah,
rock,
I
but
wouldn't-
they're just not even. They're you know what Steely Dan is? Steely Dan. That's what Steely Dan is. They don't even
I
have a
will
fucking
agree with
genre.
that.
Right, so you were saying, Jerry?
Sorry.
Real quick, while I'm bullshitting about yacht rock, turn Kevin up a little more. We could use a
Still?
little more Kevin in our
Say something,
lives.
Kevin.
You.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Perfect.
So, yeah, I don't know why, but I was driving his car for a while, found Yacht Rock Radio. I was like, this shit's great. When I got my new car, I had Sirius free for whatever 3 months or whatever, steady on the Yacht Rock Radio. Now I don't ever listen to Sirius on my own time. I don't pay for it or anything, but it's on a lot in the shop because
Mhm.
Mark's an old head who likes music, so he's a Sirius guy for
Right.
sure.
Wait, he owns Sirius?
Yeah, he pays for Sirius.
And can you use?
Yes, he owns it.
Wait,
he
yeah,
owns it.
we got hacking lungs, people. I'm sorry,
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
you know, we live in a house of smokers. But my question is, you can just like listen to Sirius on your phone, like they have an app.
Yeah,
but-
for sure.
yeah.
for
I
sure.
would, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wonder how good
Yeah.
it is. If it's
No, it's solid. I mean, it's
you-
on all the time in the
they-
shop.
But here's my question: can you look up artists and stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Hear me out. Now, if I was smart enough and if I had a degree in business, I would hit up Sirius
You
FM.
probably don't have to have. You just have to have an email.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is I would hit them up to be like a not like, what are they called? Like the social media people. What are they called now?
Yeah, ambassadors. or
Ambassador,
influencer.
I would be like, listen, your app could be 10 times better if you had categories. And I would sit here and really,
Yeah, but that's not what an influencer does.
yeah, but whatever I would be doing that. If people are out there have the degree to do that, do that.
They used to real quick before we get off serious. They used to just, you would sign up for it and you'd send like a paper thing back in the mail, you know, and then they would send you back like this radio, like a separate radio that you would plug in.
Yep, my dad had it.
Yeah, with like a car charger
Wow.
thing.
So, dude, it
Yeah.
was so dope. It was literally I remember the first time my dad got it, we got all excited because it had like a USB and a car charger, like all in one. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
had like the cigarette plug. Like,
Yeah, it was cool as hell back. It was like probably like 2005.
yeah, my dad had
it
like a
was really-
Ford Explorer, 2002 Ford Explorer. And
Yeah.
and I remember the first day he got it, I fucked up. We're in the car and he just gets into the car and I put it into 4-wheel drive on accident, and you can't start the car in 4-wheel, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about cars, but it's in 4-wheel and he's like, the fuck? I just spent like, well, I don't know, like 10K on this fucking car. Why isn't it starting? And he's sitting here flipping the fuck out. And the dealership guy comes in and he looks and he's like, it's on 4-wheel drive. And he puts it back to whatever. And my dad turns around and he's like, who the fuck did this? And he just like, the dealership guy walks away and my dad shuts the door. And he's like, if you cost me $10,000, I swear to fucking God. Like my dad, my dad was a very angry man, and he's been very physical at times, but I was never that scared in my life because I've never costed him that much money.
Because you put the car in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
He
And it
hasn't
didn't
been this
start.
mad since I was born.
Yeah. Yes. No, for
This is the second worst day of
once
my
he
life.
realized that he was like, all right, he was like doing the math. He was like 200,000 for Cody and Chris. All right, that's how much it costs to raise a kid. And then I popped out and he's like, this fucking mistake, this motherfucker. And then my sister popped out and he's like, oh, this one's cool. You know, he was
Oh
like, this
my
is the last
God.
one. But
All
yeah,
right, Luke.
Sirius
Let's hear about your weekend in the lab.
Okay, first things first, show up. I'm just gonna pop it off right quick.
I'm here.
If you are a manager, if you're a label, if you're bringing together an engineer and artists, the main thing you want to do when you have them come from Virginia, a 6.5-hour drive, the main thing you want to do. And I love this guy. I love this dude. We're in business. We're talking, but I had to say this to him as well. You want to show up, especially because I said I was doing it for free at first, right? right? Like the thing is like I said, I was going to help you out, and then you don't show up, and then now I have to sit here and charge you. You know, like I was trying to help everybody out here. Yeah, show up. Don't ask people to drive 6.5 hours, and when they come for a session, not to show up. You know, that's a big thing. And then don't. What's the best? See, Kevin was here with me this weekend. And the best way I could explain it was the artists were amazing. They're
very pleasant to work with.
Yeah, easygoing. Like I was like, look, we're not doing anything crazy. I'm just recording you guys today, and they were all fine with that. I have a big thing, and this is just me personally, and I had to I talked to a few people, and I was like, this is how I'm a producer at like I wear the producer suit, not just the pants. I would say that I wear the mixing engineer pants more so than anything. So I let them know the first thing first was like, yo, I'm a producer and I like to wear the producer. Like I stay in the producer role. And I want you guys to know that I will be adding stuff that I think is cool, but we'll compromise. We'll like take away. This is how I like to work. I like to make something I like to put my name on and that you're going to like to put your name on. You know what I mean? And they were literally just like, awesome. Love that. We love, Stan, yes, queen type energy. And I was like, awesome. And I was like,
real girl boss energy.
Yeah, like straight up. And there was a female artist there, which is really cool because I've never done female vocals ever in my life. Yeah, it was super dope. So everything was cool. But the main thing I gotta say is and the thing is they didn't pay him to do this, which is awesome that he was doing that for them. But this is what I was saying to Kevin earlier today, and this is just me thinking. This is my first session ever, and I can't sit here and act like big boss. Like I'm everything. Like I'm fucking Pharrell in the studio type energy. You know what I mean? So I was like, the main thing that I think is if you bring people together and you're not charging people, and it's like, say it's called, he has a group I'm not even going to say the group's name. I don't want to mention names, but he has a group and he's working with this group to bring them up. Cool. So like some Jackson 5 type shit. Yeah. We got kids upstairs, people. I'm sorry. They run around.
We can't hear it.
Cool. But yeah, so like he's trying to build this group up. Awesome. Dude, don't charge them. If you think that they have potential, do that. But you cannot bring other people, right? And expect them to do the work for free, meaning engineers, producers, that type of stuff.
That's what a financier is for, to pay the producer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I had to so when he didn't show up, I had to really define that like I need to be paid now, especially because like I brought Kevin with me and Kevin was doing this for free. Kevin wasn't looking, he's as well, just wanting to get onto the grind, you know what I mean? Type energy, just like, So we're sitting here and I'm like, yeah, man. He hits me up and he was like, we're going to do Sunday. Our make engineer fell out for Sunday. And I was like, I'm fine with that, but I need to be paid for yesterday. Basically being like, I'm going to come through, but I need money. Because like you didn't show up. I spent like $30 on fucking parking and just for you not to show the fuck up. You know what I mean? And he said, cool, say less. I was like 50 to 100. That's what I said. Didn't give him a defined price. I just said 50 to 100. Pay me what you feel. But so we show up and he said to be there at 11. So we showed up at what, like 10:45, 10:50. We knew he was going to be late-ish. So we just showed up basically right on time. We didn't really rush it. So we call him. We're like, yo, where you at? And he's like bullshitting around, basically being like, I'm like walking up, I'm saying some stuff. And I'm like, all right, we'll be there. We'll like go into the John. So we walk up, we waited for like 5-10 minutes. And then I was like, I'm hungry. I need food. We walked back, got something. I don't even think we got food.
No, we didn't.
I think we said we were going to get food. And then I was just like, I'm going to go smoke.
Well, basically we had showed up, we got there, we parked in the parking garage near the place. He texted and asked if the guy was there, and it was a really roundabout way, said no. So we walked around the block, went upstairs, and we were waiting. I guess he showed up around 11:45.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Which is fine because the artist just showed up then. But my main thing is it doesn't take as long to set up for you as you obviously, Jerry. I'm just putting a laptop on, connecting, a mic. But what I would have liked was that I could have actually gotten, because this interface had a compressor and like it was a, by the way, all of the issues was the interface that we were hearing.
Yeah.
The interface was trash. It was a shitty interface. We were getting these weird buzzy things, and I figured out after that when I had to like turn off the audio driver and then turn it back on, and the thing went away. But so it had all. I would have liked to be able to get like one vocalist up there so I could get levels, but I literally had no time to do that. Like literally the moment we got in, it was just like set up laptop. All right, artists are here. Let's get them. Like it was like let's record. And he started kind of rushing me.
Yeah.
Like kind of like let's go. But I'm sitting here being like I need headphones. He's like, and I swear, guys, don't ever fucking ask me this question ever. Don't ask Jarrett this question. If you walk into any studio and ask this question, give them your money and leave. Just fucking leave. Give them whatever their hourly rate was, but however long you booked the session for, and give them the money and fucking leave because you're disrespectful for doing this. He says.
The artist or manager man?
Manager man says, why do you need headphones? Can't you just record him with the studio monitors on? Let me just say that one more time. Why do you need headphones? Can't you record him with the studio monitors on? And then he says, because I want to get video of him recording and I want the audio to be there. And I said, I was like, that's not, I don't even know how I reacted. I just was like, that's not how it works. I just said no. I think I just said no. I think that's literally what I said. I was like, get me headphones. I was like, no.
It's like, I was just like, yeah, you can't do that because it'll feed back.
Yeah. So come to find out, this guy owned a car wash, right? And he wanted to get into music. That's it. That's why he got into music. He owned a car wash, thought he could, and if he can run a business, he has the fucking, let me tell you, this dude has the talk. He has all of it. He just doesn't understand how music works. So that's his issue is that, and I'm working with him now, and I'm getting 60 a session, which is a steal, a fucking steal. He was like, yeah, so these mixing engineers at Rec said that they would do 60 a session. I was like, no, look what it says. And it's like 60 an hour. I was like, it's not 60 a session ever, dude. It's never a full, like nobody does sessions because like Jarrett said to me, he's like, basically Jarrett's like, I'm giving them a godsend. And we're going to get into the artists next because now the artist, look, pleasant fucking people. I love them all. But two of them are kind of giving me a little hard time. Not understanding the recording process as much as them being 6.5 hours away, but love them. And I'm going to work with them. But for $60, I'm doing a lot of work. I don't think he understands that it takes at least like to do 3 different mixes. It's going to take time, maybe like a month, 2 months to get 3 different totally sounding mixes done. Like, it's not like I'm recording, like I'm not mixing just one fucking mix that like one vocalist did. It's like 3 different vocalists are like, they're 3 different tracks with 3 different vocalists. So it's like, I have to mix them all different. And now we're getting into
like per song or 3 different tracks.
It's like 3 different tracks. And then it's like, there's one song that has a female artist and a male artist. And then there's one song with just a male artist. And then another song with this dude Mello, who's another male artist. So it's like 3 different vocal ranges, 3 different things that I need to do. I've never worked on female vocals, so I need to even look stuff up on YouTube on how to do all that. So there's work. But for $60, that's a lot of fucking work for me to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's me sitting here being like, I have to take time out of making music, like take time out for my life. You know what I mean? And for $60, I'm giving them a good deal. Do I care? No. I love that I'm able to do this. I love that I'm literally able to say that I'm getting paid to mix and master. I have no gripe with what I'm doing. I set this price. I didn't sit here and he didn't say this is what I'm going to give you. I said, here, this is how we'll do it. How much is your monthly cost? He said 40. I said, how about we do it this way? We charge $100 a session. You get your monthly cost per session. So he's making money, right? and I get $60 a session. So I'm making money. We're both making money, right? So he gets 40%, I get 60%. That's a good deal to me, you know. And so it works out. Now, I've explained to him when I get more work on my plate, pricing is going to have to be different. Like rates are going to have to be talked about. Hourly might be a thing we have to talk about, because like if I have this project, he has me wanting to work on another artist in 2 weeks or this next weekend coming up. He has me wanting to do a couple other things like with other artists. It's like now I have 5 projects added to my plate that I have to mix, and it's like 60 doesn't cover all that. So there's stuff we got to negotiate. But getting into the artist aspect, literally this is the message I've received. So mind you, they're 6.5 hours away. This person does not have a DAW. There's this new thing called Satellite, Jarrett, which I think we should do. It's really cool. You download Satellite. I download Satellite. We put it into our DAW, and it opens up this like DAW thingy, and we record whatever is in our DAW, and it's in real time uploads it to this thing, and then you can in real time upload to it as well. So I'm gonna do that for them, right? The one dude has a DAW, so he can do this. So that's the thing. He hits me up and he's like, there's a few things that I think need work. And I was like, time out. I sent you, I literally on the phone at work was like, hey man, like you got to understand, like the turnaround rate isn't just a day, you know, like I can't just mix master and then give it to you in a day. He wants this release to be out next month. And I was like, that's not possible. I was like, I'll try to do what I can, but it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be to the quality you want. And then he was like, there's a few parts I want to add. There's a few ad libs I want to add. There's a few of this that I want to add. I want to do this different. And I was like, let me give you a call on Wednesday and we'll talk. I got to charge him. I can't do that for free. That's a whole other session, you know, like that's a whole other session. So then I get another message from one of the other artists saying, okay, it's no, like we're talking about, getting the mixes done. Okay. It's no rush. I feel like I need to change a few things on mine. Okay. Well, I understand that he fucked you over, but like, I can't, like, I just can't be doing like I want to help them out as much as possible. Right.
So not to
No. I want input. Input.
It's not, this is one of the downsides you're going to get. Cause like, you can't blame the artist for wanting to have the best, you know, performance possible. Also, you have to understand from the artist aspect that no other project, including your own, unfortunately, is not. It's not going to be more important to them.
Their project is literally more important than my project.
Well, no, I'm saying even if it's not like that, it's to them. Their project is the most important. They're going to want it back. Like, I mean, it's different for me because if I were working on something for somebody, I understand, you know, like with Jarrett, I'm not going to be like, hey, can you not work on your music so you can send me my shit? Like, cause I get it.
See, I would never ask an artist for a turnaround ever, or a producer. I mean, like, it depends on like a thing. Like if I'm like sitting here like, hey, I need this out in 2 months. Can I give you an extra? Like I would add something on top.
Yeah, and I also think that we all collectively kind of understand
that's what I'm saying.
You know, what goes into it. But I think you and the artist were put, if I'm just being honest, in a weird situation because there's only a certain amount of studio time. And I don't know how many songs were supposed to get done. And
5.
I know that they were just vocals, but it's like they were only there for like 5 hours.
4,
yeah.
Not all the artists were there.
I would say there was 4 hours spent in studio, and I think I think you and the artist are put in a bad position because there just was not enough studio time to go around, and now it's.
Now they want, and that's the thing.
But you can't blame them for that.
No, and I agree with that.
Right.
So that's where I'm in a predicament where I want to help them out, but it's like I have all the here's the thing. I have all the vocals they need for these songs to be finished, but they want to add more to it. And that is totally fine. But that would.
It ain't free. It ain't free.
Here's the thing. They want to continue to work with me and I need to set a boundary. You get what I'm saying? I need to set some sort of boundary. I can't sit here and just be like, hey guys, yeah, I'll do everything, all additives for free, everything that you need. When I said to them that like any ads that they needed, like I explained thoroughly. I was like, any mixing, any like delays that you guys need, any edits like that, I will do for free.
Yeah. Well,
Like if the delay wasn't hitting right, or if you think that this one part could have been filtered differently, I'll do those for free. But adding a whole verse, adding whole other parts to songs, it's like now you're asking me to add parts and then completely get rid of the mix. Like this is the big thing. Like I would actually in some way have to delete some of the mix.
yeah. Well, you have to just set your boundaries up front, because you can't, like, if you were to continue to work with them in the future, you can't do this all for free now, and then, next time you work with them, when you go to do edits again, be like,
No, edits are free. Like I will
no,
always.
I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay. True.
Where it's like you have to set the boundary now.
Yeah.
'Cause-
True.
So my thoughts, you like how I raised my hand on Zoom?
oh, sorry.
No, I
No. I just thought I thought it was funny. I'm just being an asshole.
How do you do that?
I think it's in at the bottom reactions.
Well, it was a. Oh, it was.
Yeah, there's like a.
Oh, I thought oh, got it.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to be funny. But my thoughts are. Oh, I like your party hat. Or is that
What
a
are-
party?
what are
it's
they
not
called?
a party hat, but
That's like I don't know.
all right. Before we just go crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
There's okay. Being good at mixing, mastering, being a good producer, that's all fine and dandy. I'm not saying it doesn't take talent. It takes a lot of talent, and I'm not where I want to be. You're not where you want to be. We never will be.
Yeah, and I
But
learned.
so
Yeah, go.
my point is though that anybody can put the time in and get good at that. If this is something you want to do, whether you want to do it for a living or just
do.
as like a little side hustle, I got news for you. Being great at what you do in the production world is probably like 40%
I learned
of
that.
what you really of what you're really gonna need.
I learned that in the session because I just used a template, right? I have a. Sorry for eating. I literally.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I would
My
literally-
mouth has been doing weird things because I got a pouch in. I keep
I've been
going
trying to
like-
stay back from the mic. My stomach just was like fucking up.
You did a terrible job at it, because I was watching you and you were just.
I know. I started leaning in. Did you notice I was like
The
doing
fuck
this
is he
whole thing?
doing?
But I have this template that Kenny Beats like put out like in his subscriber thing, and yeah. So basically, it's just like Alex Toomey, who is a recording or a mixing engineer who mixed for like Juice World, all these like huge artists, and I have his template with all the Waves plugins, and it's like I learned that like literally that template is 60% of the work I do. Like literally, I noticed I'm like, oh, the vocals are fucking clean. All I need to do is add some, maybe some like filtering or some extra stuff to it. But at this point, like it's basically done. And now it's just adding delays at parts, adding like getting it real clean into the mix, like gluing it into like, and I realized I'm like, and that's all the stuff I understand. Like I understand that really well because that's like, sampling. Like that's basically what I do at sampling is like the whole purpose is like, you don't notice, but there's 3 samples in one sample melody, but I blend them so fucking well that you can't even tell that they're like 3 different songs. Right. So like I already do that well enough. So I'm like, okay, so I realized that 40% of the work that I'm doing is like 60% is getting a clean take. I would even say 80% is getting a clean take and 20% is work.
Yeah, well, so I'm more so getting at the fact of like
I was just ranting about it, but
yeah, no worries. So like what I'm getting at here is like Excuse me, I'm fucking always phlegmy when
I
we
was
do
just
this
laughing at the fact that
podcast.
I just like literally was like, I'm just not trying to eat into the mic, and I'm like leaning into the mic while chewing.
But so when I'm talking about like being good at whatever you do, like if you're the producer man, if you're the mixing guy, if you're the mastering dude, um, or if you're kind of wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
Either way, no matter what your specialty is and what you're like really good at in that world, at the end of the day, it's really like 40% of the entire picture in terms of like wanting to do this, whether it be for a full-time job or just a like legitimate um side hustle where you get, paid what you I'm not going to say what you're worth, but like what you're looking to get paid. I mean, like all this work we do to become better engineers is like that's only I don't even think that's like half of the game. Like the 60% of this whole thing is like being able to manage these artist relations type things, or in your case, like the relations with the manager and the artist and whatnot. Either like that's part of it. Like knowing like how to go into a project, having everything laid out, like in terms of like this is what I'm charging you. This is what that includes. And in your term, like you're kind of doing like a flat rate type of thing. I don't know your exact arrangement
It's
financially.
like I was helping them out and then got fucked and realized that like I'm actually worth some dollars, so I should like me and the artist never talked about them paying me. Um, up and like one of them just sent me $50, and I'm gonna use that on one of the like that in my head is now okay. We will do like one of your recording sessions. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm setting sessions at like I'm gonna have to put like I'm gonna tell him that like the session is set at 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
4 hours for $50. You know what I mean? Like that gives me $10 for fucking outside mixing. I'm basically putting it in my head is like $10 an hour in a sense. You know what I mean? So like I think
Right.
that's fair. Um,
Yeah. So I mean, like numbers are numbers, and they break down like
however you make a breakdown.
yeah, like that's not even so much what I'm getting at. It's more like I've done work for a decent chunk of bands. My projects obviously are a little longer than yours would be because
Oh yeah.
there's
Oh yeah.
just like there's a lot more involved. Um, Not that either is better. Honestly, you're probably in the better field in
Yeah, I
terms
get
of
I
making
just
money.
I just do vocals and I get paid $60 and it takes me like a couple hours.
Right.
And I just
Um,
hit press and play. Yeah.
right. But like I've worked with a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, and I'm still figuring it out. I'd like to say like ever since me and Jack have teamed up, like we're on the phone all the time talking about like this is how we got to be, but it's still like a learning process.
Yeah.
Um, and there's so many things involved that have absolutely nothing to do with recording the actual shit for the artist. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that it's just like as much as like I can hear where you're at because I've been there. Like you're working with artists who have never really been. I don't even want to talk about manager man.
Well,
Yeah.
the way it's working is we're both literally brand new to this thing. One guy is like 40 years old and he's been doing it for years now. Like He's been at it for years. So like he's been in the process. He owns Logic Pro X. Like he gets it. So he was really easy to work with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's one of the people who want these extra edits, and I'm like, I'm totally fine. But when you want a whole other session added, that's where I'm at. And now that you're saying that, I'm like, okay. So what I think you're getting at is basically like, can't do shit for free. You just can't really like.
So yeah, I mean, and you can,
Yeah.
but it's like I was just listening to a podcast about this, like kind of using like you can take a hit on your on your money for a project and kind of rationalize that to yourself as like, oh, this is like the money I took a hit on is money that I'm not going to spend on marketing and running ads and shit, because this dude, like, if he knows, oh shit, like I got a deal here, I got the hookup, like I'm going to tell all my homies about it, like he just ran a fucking ad for you. So that is one way to look at it. But it's like, if you're doing shit for free and giving hookups and being nice, it's like you got to have like this magical fucking producer, but also businessman slickness about you, to where like the artist knows like that they are getting a deal and you are in fact hooking them up. Like there's been so many times in the past where it's like I went way above and beyond the fucking job that I was doing, but nobody ever saw that. So that they never felt like, oh man, like Jarrett's the fucking man, like he did all this shit that like he really didn't have to do. Like it's weird, and it feels so slimy like talking about it, but it's really not. It's really just like letting them know like, hey dude, like I'm gonna hook you up, I got you. And he'll be like, oh fuck yeah, like this dude's sick, he's giving me like a little hookup. But anyway, I don't even know how I got on that whole tangent.
No, that makes sense though, because like now I'm thinking about it. Like, here's the thing: I could hook these people up, and like I got that businessman in me. I mean, like,
I know you do.
I mean, let's put it straight. If you can sell pot to people, that's literally selling water to somebody who's drinking water out of a water bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like they already spent $2 on a water bottle, and if you can just do that, you can do anything. You know what I mean? That's how I think about it now. I'm like, shit, like I literally sold something to people that like, I don't do this anymore, people. I'm not incriminating myself. I did this when I was like 15. And, I was a little hooligan era. But like, I realized like in my blood, I can literally be like, you need this pen, like from that Wolf of Wall Street thing where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like I can do that. So I'm like, I can do the businessman thing. And like in my head, like what you said was like I wouldn't mind hooking these people up on my first sessions, right?
Yeah, I mean you already are.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind hooking them up, doing more so like doing the re-edits and all that for free if they speak my name, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is that what happens if somebody's like, yo, my boy needs to get in and he wants to do this one part on my track? You know, they start doing some sly shit like that where they're like doing features only. And that's one thing that could be in this, they're trying to get their whatever. No, I'm not even going to think about it like that. Cause that,
yeah, I mean, it's really like, as you
but I'm saying more so like that would be good for me. Cause then they would tell their boys like, yo, you can just send him your vocal, or yo, you can literally hit him up and he'll do his session virtually from New Jersey with you in Virginia. And like, but I would, how, like my thing is like, how would I make them understand that I'm not going to hook their friends up and I'm not going to hook them up like I'm going to hook them up this time. You know, that's where I'm at now. It's like next time is not free. Like next time, like if we do this stuff virtually, I can't do it for free. So
Right.
it's just like,
That's why you have to set your boundaries early and not,
So
Yeah.
so here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna tell them, yo, I'm gonna hook you guys up on this. Next time we do any of this, we got to talk rates and everything like that. But
Mhm.
but I'll hook you up with this situation because we all got fucked. So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fine way to handle it.
Yeah, but being like next time we got to talk rates and what $50 really means, not $50 for, you know, 4 projects and then mixing and like I would do mixing and mastering in a project or like a track or like, you know, if they had like 2 or 3 tracks they wanted to do, I would do $50 in mixing and mastering for that. I wouldn't mind doing that. But like if their boys hit me up, it's gonna be more. Might be hourly rates. Like it might be something like that where it's just like I would hook them up forever, you know, because they're my first people. They're my first clients.
Right. I definitely understand
like
that.
they're a
I think,
referral.
yeah, I mean Kevin's point is very accurate. It's really just about like defining the terms before
I get fucked.
you even think about getting together. Like it's
Yeah.
and this is just shit that like I'm not criticizing you for not doing that. Like I've done crazy shit, you know, where like
Yeah.
because I hadn't learned like the right way to like go about this kind of stuff. I'm still learning. Like I feel like I'm just like getting into this.
Yeah, me
kinda
too.
thing
That's why I
with,
felt
like-
confident to do this. Was like I think I actually like when I was doing my last track, which I mean we could talk about in a little bit, but when I was getting that, I was like, oh, my vocals aren't bad. I was like realizing I was like, I think I understand. Like our last episode, we talked about it. I was like, I think I actually understand like mixing to a point that I feel confident. And then this thing happened where the dude was like, yo, you want to come in and engineer? And usually I say no. I'm like real nervous to do that type of stuff because like I don't feel that I'm confident. I don't feel that I didn't feel that I was an engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked me, and I was even nervous because he was talking about like the whole plan that he was having. Like we were into the conversation. I still haven't told him that I produce and have a studio and anything. I was hiding. I was literally not acting like an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about it. And he's like, yeah, but I'm looking for engineers and like people aren't coming through. And then I was like, well, you know, I'm an engineer. He was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And that's how this all started. Was I was just like, I'm just gonna say yes because I'm confident enough that I can do this. And
Yeah. You're
And
gonna
that-
learn a million things during this.
yeah, and that's my main thing why I think I can charge, right? Is like I think with you when you first did Lucia, you might have I think you helped her out on the first few, right?
I mean, if it depends what you consider.
Did you charge her for the first few or like only when she did the EP?
I think I did the first single. I really want to say I did the first single for free.
I think you did too.
And I know I got paid for the LP. Now, like here's the thing, like did I do it for free? No. If you actually broke down what I got paid versus the amount of hours that I worked on it, it genuinely would probably come out to like $2 an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm working for like 5 cents right now, so I get it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, but that's the thing too. And I'm sure like maybe you realize this, maybe you don't. Like, did I get paid like mathematically speaking, like breaking the price down? Like, yeah, it was probably like $2 an hour that I got for that record. But like there were like hours and hours throughout that record where I was just I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like I'm happy with the way that the final product came out for my first project. Like I'm totally cool with it. But like doing something that quality now, like it would have taken me literally like 75% less time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like you start to realize like those kinds of things. Like,
well, I feel
like,
like that's
when
with
you-
any mixing engineer though. They kind of lose out on the whole mixing process. They only really get paid for the recording, right?
A mixing engineer?
Like
No.
like hold on. But like recording bands like at like Gradwell, do they get paid for the mixing hours too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. My
Absolutely.
bad. I thought.
No, I literally didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
know.
I thought you were saying something else. I don't know what I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
about
So
that.
so when they get done recording you, that's one session, and then whatever I guess they put
Yeah,
a session for
they charge
mixing.
entirely different prices. Because I remember when we recorded in Waves, there it was like 50 an hour to record, and then 35 an hour for mixing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm
and
assuming you did the session, and it was like 50 plus the 35 an hour, or was it like
no, it was 50,
one session
it
and then
was
one
like
session?
we knew how many we had 8-hour days. It was like it was 50 times 40, so
Yeah.
900, and then I think he spent maybe 20 hours mixing total. So which
They
is
clocked that.
just- yeah. Well, I remember
Absolutely.
because they didn't.
Yeah, no, I don't know this stuff because I'm like
because
rap producer, man. I
They-
don't
you
do the
didn't-
mixing.
they didn't want the rest of the band. Well, not the rest of the band. I should say. Brandon didn't, but Tom and Pete didn't want to have Gradwell mix it so we could save money. But in my head, I was just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know why you would go record a Gradwell and then skip out on mixing and mastering.
Not pay their in-house engineer who went to years of
just-
schooling and years of band mixing. you know?
I don't know. It just seems like getting a really, really nice piece of meat, but then like not knowing how to cook it.
Not having that salt,
Right,
salt
right.
literally not having the salt guy come over and salt the steak. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
So yeah, so yeah, we just paid to have it done. And 'cause
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense.
yeah,
So
but the whole point was they charge different prices. And it's like it's different sets of hours.
so okay, I'm doing them a huge favor, and I don't even realize the favor I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean most.
You are doing them a huge favor, but you know,
I'm
like,
fine with it too. Like
it's your first project, so like this is kind of what I was getting at bringing up ornamental. Like, yeah, the hours it's gonna take you to like mix this thing, like technically, yeah, you're getting absolutely fucking cooked on it.
yeah.
But like, you do a couple more of these projects, like then you know, you're just trying to get your name out there. And not only that, like you're just trying to get used to like working for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
know,
and
and-
I got very lucky. I can say that. I got very lucky because I don't know how I think people were gonna treat me being an engineer, but I thought they were just gonna come in and be like, listen, bitch boy, you hit record and you make my shit sound good. And I thought that was gonna be the energy. I don't know why, but I just thought so. But I immediately realized the respect I had. I was like, oh, I'm like
Mhm.
their saving grace. Like that's like not like that's kind of like a cynical way of thinking about it, but it's like if I wasn't there, they wouldn't be able to do this. So it's just like so they're gonna give me a certain amount of respect. So it made me start thinking about the whole process of being like I was only gonna do this as a one-off and help people out and like maybe build my name a little bit, do this as a side hustle. But sitting in there, I don't know if Kevin noticed, but I fucking I felt like myself again in a weird way. Like I felt me.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. I felt like 2018 Luke, where I was just like, we're getting shit done. I'm in my mood. Like I'm and like for the rest of the day, dude, I swear to God, like I don't even know how to explain it, but like if my energy was a dick, I just was walking around with like an energy hard on the whole rest of the day. I was so confident. I just felt like myself. It was weird. So I was just like, oh, I should do this as like a career. I should
Mhm.
like really and I don't know if I told you this, but I'm getting a certification in engineering right now. I started this last week. So yeah, I'm enrolled in this like weird Berkeley thing through Corsa. And then after I finish that, I get a certification through Corsa, which then I can put on my resume. And then I get 15% off on a class, like a course at Berkeley. And I'm going to take their mixing engineering course, which is only $2,000. And 15% would only be like $250 or something like that off of it. But I can also use my FAFSA because I get credits. It's a credited course. So technically what I could do is I could just keep going back to Berkeley and get all these credits and basically get my bachelor in like 15 years. Like that's like
cool.
what I could do in certifications and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's like that when he hit me up about it, it's only $40 a month to get the certification. I want to get certified. I want to learn more about it. So I was like, fuck it. Like $40 a month. I can't complain about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like now that I'm doing that, and which I got to do tonight, I got to do my class. But I'm doing that, and then I'm like now like mixing people. It like all like sunk to me that I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like not that like I
Yeah.
don't think I shouldn't be producing music and making my own music. I that's definitely always going to be a part of my life. But it's just like I realized I was like, this is like your calling right now. Like right now, I should just be doing this because I don't want to work. Like like it's like to a point where I'm at Amazon and like any job that I've worked in the last like 2 years, I'm just like, I'm about to burst, bro. Not like a fucking like I'm gonna bring a gun in and shoot people, but I'm like about to like just start like I don't even know how to explain it. Like
Yeah, you just don't like working. Yeah.
yeah, but I feel like I'm gonna become like a fucking capitalist slave.
Yeah.
And like I literally was like, when the fuck did I become a conformist? Because I remember up until 24, I hated every fucking company, and I was never trying to like. So
Yeah.
with that, I realized I don't want to work for a company when I can just make money off of a skill that I have. And
Yeah.
and even further, you could do so much with engineering now. Like people don't even think about it, but it's like audio is the future. Like video is pretty important, but if you think about it, what do you do when you're at work? What I listen to a podcast or like music or in my headphones, like all I'm doing is listening to stuff. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
really, I'm not really watching. Like I don't know if this is for everybody else, but I know a lot of the people I talk to that they're always listening to something while they do something. And like there's always an engineer who needs to do that, you know?
Yeah.
So
My advice to you, knowing that is your mindset, at least right now, is just like I was saying earlier. Just remember, you could be the best at what you do, production wise. That's still only like that's probably less than half of what you're gonna need to make it. You know.
yeah. And I think I'm good with people. So like
No,
that's
yeah, I think you are too. I wasn't saying that in a
no, no, no,
discouraging
no,
way.
no, no, no. I know, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like putting even more of a confidence boost on me. Is like I'm like yeah, like I mean like Kevin saw like the first like moment we got into the studio, it was just like this is what we're doing. Like I just took the role. Like
Yeah.
it was like natural, and it wasn't like a condescending like you are artists and I am the record. It was like literally just like hey, like let's do some shit, guys. Let's make some music. Like let's get it. Like so.
Yeah. And I
But
think I just think it's worth mentioning that like it's even if you are like I know you're a good people person, like you're good at talking, you're a genuinely nice guy. I like being around you. I like talking to you.
thank you, brother.
So, yeah, man, yeah, for sure. So like you do already have a leg up on like someone who is good at producing or mixing or this or that. Like you have a leg up on someone who is good at those kinds of things and has absolutely dog shit social skills and
Yeah.
doesn't know how to communicate with people and leaves them unknowingly with a bad taste in their mouth. So you already have like a leg up on that person. But like just like it's taken like a couple years for you to get comfortable with recording music, like the more projects that you do, you'll realize like it takes a little bit of practice, like accurately laying out the information to artists you're going to be working with and being like, hey, this is what I do, this is what it costs, but still saying it in a way where like they're like, oh, like he's not being a dick. This is just a guy who, like, he's about his business and he has been totally clear and upfront about what this is. And, you'll get used to that. And there's
Yeah.
also like some other points to make in terms of like you were saying earlier about how like you know, you talk to these guys and you're like, you know, I'm a producer, like, and I'm gonna be like adding my own flavor, and you know, you're gonna be happy, like we'll both be happy and we'll both enjoy it. And that's sick, and it's super sick that they were
Not
like, yeah,
everybody wants it.
definitely not.
And you know
I
what the first thing I'm gonna say is if they say no, cool. Awesome.
mhm,
We'll just get your project done, man. That's not an issue with me. That's why I put it out in the very first thing that I say. Like literally, I think
yeah,
that was the first thing I said when they got into the studio. I was just like, I'm a producer as well, so I'm gonna add this. If you don't like it, do not be scared to tell me to fuck off and take it off. Like I do not feel in any type of way. This is not my project. I just like to add my flavor. And like that's a big thing with me is that like, you know, I don't know if you do the same thing.
yeah. I
I don't
actually like when I have someone, especially like depending on how well I know them, um, like I'm always like, hey, if you want me to give feedback and you know, try and help, like maybe bring the songs to like a different level, or if you want like, you know, comments and critiques on your vocal performance or this, that, and the other, like I am happy to do that for you. If you want me to shut the fuck up and press record, that's cool too,
Yeah, I'm getting
you
paid. I
know.
don't care. Like that's the actual energy. Like when it comes behind it all, is
Hmm.
like it's like in the end I'm getting paid. So it's not like a big gripe with me if like you sit here and you're like no, right? My big gripe would be is not being credited.
Hmm.
That would be my big gripe. That would be and I think everybody would feel that way. But like that's one thing I will have to like emphasize is like I need to be credited on these tracks, especially if I'm like helping out and like doing this for you and like even everybody. I'll be like, yo, like that's the main thing. And I also ask, I'm like, yo, like I asked all the people I worked with, I was like, is it okay if I post this on my Instagram while I'm working on it? If
Hmm.
not, do not feel any type of way. I will not. And one of them said no, and the other one was like, yeah, go for it. So
Yeah.
it's like I make sure that like I don't because I know what I want. If I walk into a studio and somebody's just like, I'm doing everything, you're gonna like what I do. And if you don't like what I do, it's getting released. That's how it goes. Like that, I would be utterly upset and I wouldn't pay for the next session. You know what I mean? Or I wouldn't even
Hmm.
probably pay for that session. Been in that situation already. And yeah, yeah, I don't think that I think the way that I'm thinking about it all is that I know that I'm worth something, but I'm also like, that's why I've been having this like weird, like in between is like, I know I'm worth money. Like I've been working on producing for a
Hmm.
while and like really, I mean, I've been working on producing every single day for the past 2 years, every single day, like
Hmm.
mixing vocals, this, that, even if it sounds shitty, I'm still working on it and I'm learning. And with doing that and like mixing these people and recording them, I already start hearing all these things that I learned in the past flooding in. So I'm like, I'm worth something. I have a lot of information that is worth in the studio. But also these are my first clients. And like if I was to sit here and be like charging hourly, I would feel wrong. And that's why I've been in this weird like uh in between, I guess.
Yeah.
It's because it's like that would feel I wouldn't like I wouldn't feel like if I was an artist and I walked in and at the very because I didn't tell them it was my first session until I packed my laptop up. I literally put the laptop in my bag and I was like, "This is my first session," and they're like, "Wait, really?" I was like, "Yeah." So like I and then I would be like, "Are you serious? This is your first session? I don't want this. Like that's me. I would just be like, I don't want this released. I don't want you to do this. Like I don't. I would probably do it better myself. Like I would. That's me, right?
Right.
Um, so yeah, I guess like that's my thing is that I feel bad being like because I don't want to charge these people, but I'm also like, oh, my time is gonna be so fucking taken up, and that's me being selfish. And then it's like, yeah, but my time is being taken up by something that I enjoy that will hopefully market me to a bigger audience
Hmm.
and make me more money. So it's just like, fuck, maybe you just got to
Yeah.
take away from your time. So
Yeah. I want to ask Kevin, before we close up here. I wanted to ask you a couple. I don't know. I don't know if it's not like I'm interviewing you, but I'm curious. Like, all right, first question is like, what was the first band that you ever went into the studio with? Be it like a home studio, like, oh, my boy's doing this,
Go to the
or
bathroom
like,
real quick.
or it was like a legit place. Like, what was the first thing that you
Um,
did?
Well, I guess the first time we recorded as a band, I guess it was a Fall Else Fails in high school. We recorded, we paid $300 to record in this guy Dave Odell's basement,
Mm-hmm.
and I think at the time we thought it turned out pretty well. I mean, we tried to record stuff at like Pete's house, like where I guess sophomores and juniors, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't really like. It just like it was so bad that I don't even think we would count it as a studio experience. But yeah, we recorded this guy's Dave Odell's house, and he's a live engineer, so he's not a studio guy. He just like happened to have equipment for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like our first experience, and um, looking back, it's not great, but I think it was a good like first time experience. You know, I'd rather have that my senior year of high school with someone who's not even like a studio engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Be like 21 and trying to go into a studio for the first time and
Yeah.
not knowing how it goes or being
Yeah,
prepared.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What made me ask, I guess, is the fact, like Luke was talking about, this was like some of these artists he was working with
Mm-hmm.
this weekend. It's like they're kind of new to the whole thing, and I was wondering if you had the same experience that I did looking back. Like, I know looking back, I have like everything that you shouldn't do or say
Mhm.
to the person making your record, like I've done and said them all.
Okay.
And like I was just thinking about that when Luke was talking, like bringing up like the artist saying like, hey, we want this out in a month.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's realistic, right? And I know in the past I've had like I've been like, yeah, so like the release show's booked and
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's gonna be out on this
Hey
date.
man,
Right.
hey
And
man, our whole release show is depending on you, so don't fuck up.
literally,
Yeah.
Right. Well, so
literally.
that's like the thing is like what I was talking about. Like that I guess that kind of like goes with the experience of it because like a lot of like half of the experience is one being in the studio and recording like the actual like music. And I think the other half is like waiting for it and like because when we recorded like we really had no plans to do anything. Like we were in high school, we weren't
Mhm.
booking any release shows. We were just playing like pay to plays and
Oh, if all else fails.
yeah, like talent shows and battle of the bands, like that type of shit.
Bro, but you know what? They were making a name, bro.
Yeah, we were killing it.
You guys played Radio 104.5.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, you did.
What?
Yeah, all else fails.
No, we did not.
All else fails.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant if all else fails. Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
dude.
He didn't get the joke. He didn't get the joke.
I didn't get the joke.
The band All Else Fails. There's a famous band called All Else Fails.
I don't know. I've never heard of them.
But so like I guess what I was asking Kev is like, did you have that experience where like you like really had to like learn how this shit works? And I'm not gonna like, I don't want to say like get put in your
Right. Yeah.
get put in your place, but like was there a learning curve, or were you always just a kind, beautiful, respectful man?
Oh, thanks. So I was when we started if all else fails, I only played like we wrote one song where they tried to get me to play guitar and it was terrible. And I remember the one kid, Matt, fucking roasted me for it. And like he was just a dick about it. And so from that point on, I didn't feel like I was like on the level of like musicianship, which I wasn't. So it's fine, you know? So like when we went to record, I was never the one to like try and say anything or be upfront about anything. I was just like, I would show up, I would do my part. And if like the engineer or whatever was just like, what do you think of this? I'd be like, yes or no.
Mhm.
But Matt was, he was the one who would just say shit that you don't say, and like had to get put in his place. And
Mhm.
me
could
being
totally
the
see
shy,
that.
me being the shy one, like I was lucky enough to get to sit back and watch somebody else make the mistakes for me.
That's sick.
Can I
Yes,
add
yeah.
something
So
real
then,
quick?
so after that, it was just like it was always easy. It was never hard. I don't think I've ever been a difficult person to work with.
This
That's incredible.
This Mac kid would say he would harmonize on on parts, and what his harmony was singing the same exact note but
Yeah, or like an octave or octave lower,
louder or an octave lower. Yeah. So that puts it in perspective. This kid also told me one time. He said, "Why do you practice it slower? You should practice it at full speed so you know how to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And then Pete took me to the side one day and he was like, "Don't ever listen to any advice that kid gives you."
There's one time because we're on it. Sorry, there's this one time where it was our sophomore year battle of the bands. It's like our first show we were doing. He wanted to do Cupid's chokehold, which terrible idea. And he's like, take a look at my girlfriend. That song, yeah.
Is that Maroon 5?
No, it's Fallout. Well, it's Gym Class Heroes and Patrick Stump for Fall Out Boy. But
Wait, that's not Maroon
And
5.
initially, Supertramp.
oh yeah, right. of
Wait, I've
course.
never.
Yeah,
I've
it's
always
not-
thought that was Maroon 5.
Yeah, it's not. So
It's a
he's
Maroon
like
5 song.
he's like, oh, I want to do the rap parts, and we're like, all right, whatever. He's like, but also he's like, I want to sing the Patrick Stump part. And so like, I'm just like, what the fuck would I even do at that point? Like, if I would just stand on the stage while you guys do a fucking awful cover of Cupid's Chokehold.
I had that same experience at a Guitar Center. Sam Ash open mic night. He wanted to do some fucking shitty popular song from 2010, and I didn't know how to play bass, but I knew how to sing, and we all knew who the singer was in that group. And he knew he couldn't sing, but I was a shy. I was 17, and they were like 21. Like I was a kid, right? Like no, they were like he was like 21. I was like 17. I was young.
A couple years older.
Yeah. So I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, do your thing. And he has me play the acoustic bass. By the way, I do not play. Well, I guess I now play bass because I got a bass, but I did not touch a bass. Like,
I gotta ask you because I've played one of these Sam Ash open mic things. Did you use a Sam Ash acoustic bass and it had the price tag like dangling?
Of course, 100%.
Fuck yeah, bro.
1000%.
Yeah.
We all we used was acoustic gear from Sam Ash.
Yeah.
All of it had a price tag.
I
on it.
never did
I've
that.
done, and you got like a $10 gift card as a band for doing it.
Yeah, that I didn't receive, but
We got paid shit, and I still didn't even get paid.
yeah, he didn't even offer me like a cigarette or nothing. He was just like, "Here, I got 10." He literally had us play it so he could make $10 for a pack of cigarettes. I bet. But the funny part about that,
I wish
whole
you could buy cigarettes at Sam Ash. Yo, man, can I use my Sam Ash gift? Yo, bro, let me get a pack of Noops.
yeah. But at that show, this creepy dude, his name was Buddy. You remember Buddy?
God, yeah,
He got kicked out because of that show. He videotaped a young boy performing and like was making noises and like, oh yeah, like saying something like
Yeah, dude,
he's
weird, dude.
weird dude, but mentally disabled. Clearly has something where like this is a thing where like they they're 12-year-old in mindset, so they're like, and I am not condoning this. I am saying it is wrong as any other thing, but there is this, it is a thing where they they think they're 12. But
I don't know, man. I've had a conversation with him. I think he's just fucking weird.
yeah, I think he's weird too. I think
he's
weird
No,
too.
I just think he's.
But that was the
nuts.
explanation that was given to me when I worked at Sam Ash.
No.
So he got kicked out because of that, and he like comes in apparently still to this day thinking he's not kicked out, and they have to like literally call like the manager who's like he thinks is friends with him, and he's like, hey man, like let's let me go take you to get lunch or something. Like it's like that, like the situation is like that he doesn't understand, like, or he clearly understands. I don't know what the situation is. Maybe he's as creepy, like I don't know. When I worked there, he just seemed like he was mentally disabled and weird. But yeah, that was just a funny situation. Not a funny situation, a terrible situation that happened. But That's the type of people I'm trying to say. That's the type of people that I was performing to. Was like that was the group. It was just like
Right.
60-year-old dudes who had nothing going, but they wanted to tell their kids that they had a show that night. You had like 12-year-olds who had a career going, and they just started at Sam Ash, which you should. That's who it's for.
Yeah, I got a girl's number at the
That's who it's
That's
for. It's
raw.
like, yeah, it's for like 12-year-old to 16-year-old kids just trying to get some girls' numbers from the audience, like stuff like that. But it wasn't for 50
Gotta
year olds.
do it to them, you know what I'm saying?
We'll do it one time.
Fallout Shelter. That was another place for the. Did you ever play Fallout?
I did not.
You ever heard of it? Did you ever go?
Yeah, I know what's up with it. I just never played.
It's a shame.
I got kicked out.
On that note, thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Oh wait, I almost hit leave.